as I'm watching Global.
Love it. Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the 2300 Pod. Nate Maxon here with you, along as always with my brother Aaron.
Hey.
Hey. And Chad Austin. Chad, how's it going out there tonight in Maryland?
Chatty in the house. Oh, that's Cabrini.
Cabrini. Oh, God. Thank God we're out of there, at least. This week on the show, we are going to be reviewing the episode of ECW from June the 15th of 1993, whereas meaning the next episode, we're finally going to get to this Super Summer Sizzler steak all-you-can-eat buffet of that they've been promoting since we started this show, and that is coming up in our next show because that was on June 19th of 93. Would this... Okay... I guess I could have went back and looked to my retro calendar or whatever in my phone, but obviously at this time living in Ohio, we weren't getting the ECW show on our TV. Did these shows air on Saturday nights, Chad?
I didn't get them at all in my area.
Oh, okay.
In Baltimore?
I thought...
No, I didn't get them, but from what I understand, from anywhere from Philadelphia, I think it was Philadelphia at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I think it was everything north of that was whatever their syndication, their sister station would put them on.
Okay. Well, and the only reason I asked
that was that was a while ago, so I don't know how much that would have changed, honestly.
And the only reason I asked was this show airs on the 15th of June. The Super Sizzler thing is on the 19th of June, so they keep saying 4 days from now or 4 nights from now. So if
96 hours.
Yeah, if this show airs on a Saturday night, does that mean they had that show on a Wednesday night? That seems, I don't know, that just seemed kind of odd to me. That's why I wondered if these shows aired on Saturdays or not.
Well, I mean, I think if I had to say, I would say that if you were going to go by history and go by timestamp wise as to when stuff happened, I would go by what aired on Sports Philly or Sports Tampa, Sports Channel Tampa, because as I know, Tampa was a day later. So It was like if you lived in that time, if you lived in an area where you got Sports Channel Philadelphia, then you probably may have gotten Sports Tampa or in Tampa down there. It was all like the same sister station and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that they were the most current TVs that I know of.
Okay. All right. Well, we start the show off. Of course, we are now in the ECW arena, no longer at Cabrini as we found out last week.
But unfortunately,
our buddy's Uncomfortable Sully and
Stevie Wonderful's back. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yep, Stevie Wonderful has returned.
And these guys muffle-mouthed and stumble-fucked through this goddamn opening. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of kids that came out.
Yeah, that was weird.
Palomo let them loose.
Yeah, Palomo opened up the hatch on his van and they all ran out.
Have we even started seeing the commercials yet for the Todd Gordon charity thing where he wants to, if you want to run a... Oh, we haven't?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's who all the kids are. He went to his little charity thing and rounded up a whole bunch of them kids. They came running out of nowhere.
I just thought Palomo's hatchback busted open when he hit a speed bump pulling in the arena and they all escaped.
Paisano, get back here.
Yeah, Palomo had probably some of the better moments of tonight's show. Because I think he hit a couple of gold mines tonight on the microphone and has no idea what he even said. Just the way he was saying stuff, I was probably going, he has no idea what he's saying.
Not a fucking clue.
No,
and neither did Jay Sully and Stevie Wonderful when they opened the show. Good Lord, it was rough.
Every week, Sully looks more
I'm just
like
glad.
a hostage.
I'm just glad that when Road Warrior Hall came out and he was telling all the fans how great he was to be there, and he's here in the Eastern Wrestling area.
Yeah, I put that.
Oh well.
It says Hawk comes out and says he's in Eastern wrestling. It's like Hawk even has no fucking idea what's going on.
I mean, it would have
they
been
all
great.
do a fucking plate of blow before they came out.
It's
And
where the
like,
rebels
hey, here
go.
it is.
It's where the rebels go. He says that it's where the rebels go.
Could you imagine if he would have did the whole entire waist thing? Like, yeah, the Eastern wrestling. I'm the Eastern wrestling. Oh shit, that's prestigious.
Here's some of the highlights of Hawk's promo. He says, "There is an elevator. There is no elevator, just an empty shaft."
Oh,
that's what he says. He goes, "There's no elevator, it's just an empty shaft. You know you like me, but you don't know why. Goodbye."
that was the finish.
And then he That's what he says. There is no elevator, just an empty shaft. You know why you like me, but you don't know why. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And
No,
then he
what
just
a
walked
rush.
away.
Well, he walked away just like he came in. Like when they came on and Sully and Wonderful are talking, he's just aimlessly walking around the arena.
Yeah, with these kids, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, Road Warrior Hawk there. I don't know what was going on.
This was the Legion of Damn.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
I mean, from what we've seen, it doesn't look like he's not going along with anything, right?
Right. No,
Like-
I mean,
He's just like, goodbye. That was the best part of it. He's just, goodbye.
Yeah, it's not like anybody saying like Road Warrior Hawk's doing some of the best stuff of his life or his career, but nobody's actually saying what the fuck is this guy doing. I mean, but we still have to watch the Snuka match, honestly, because that's fucking coming up.
yes, it
And,
is.
and what is Paulie doing out there talking about somebody's mama?
Oh, that was great. That's in my notes too. Paulie, when they go to the Paulie Snuka promo, he says, "Hawk, you said you're the toughest around. I say your mama."
Yeah, your mama.
Your
But he
mama.
didn't even say it with an exclamation point. He just said your mama.
Your mama.
And then Snuka said some unintelligible shit. I don't even know what Snuka said.
I just
Oh,
now-
I know one thing he said. You didn't write it down. Obviously, he said, "Take care of business, brother."
TCB, brother.
Yeah,
Take care of
I wrote it
business.
down. It's where it wrote Snooker TCB. Take care of business, brother. That's all he's doing in Philadelphia.
He learned that saying in like 1990, and he's just using it here. Like this is.
Well, he learned it in like 72 when Elvis said it.
I mean, I'm not even sure if we even talked about this, but how much great of an alibi is that if you're just driving down the road and a cop pulls you over and you're in a bad neighborhood? What are you doing here, sir?
GCB,
TCB, brother. Taking care of business.
Yeah.
Taking care of
TCB,
business.
There you go, man. It's your alibi all day long.
Just killing white bitches. I'm just doing my job.
Brother. You say brother.
Why are you wearing
Thanks.
shoes? Just taking care of business, bro.
I actually, I mean, what did you think of Snooker's physique during this? And I actually didn't even write anything down about it. It's just now me thinking about
For
it.
his age,
What's that?
For his age, he would have been what, in his 40s here?
Probably in his late 40s.
Yeah, I mean, for his age, I mean, the dude was ripped.
Well, you're thinking his last run would have been when was he at WrestleMania? Whatever with Taker, was it 91, 92?
91.
So that's only a couple years removed from that run. So he was probably still on the gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And that was probably coming off when reality was setting in. Oh,
What if-
Jesus.
A few months after this, he winds up back on Raw for like at least a taping because he's in that later. No, wait. No, that's 94. That's not. No, it is 93. After Shawn vacates the title, he's in that Battle Royal on Raw for the vacant Intercontinental title. He's part of that a few months from now.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's bringing him back. It's bringing him back for one deal. But
Yeah.
I just thought he was in incredibly good shape for somebody that hasn't worked for
Yeah,
consistently for like 3 months or so like that. I don't know. He looked great.
Stevie keeps telling us that Hawk, this guy is menacing. He's menacing. It's Stevie's thing during this match.
Yeah. And Nate, I'm going to ask you this. Mm-hmm. See if you get it right, because I know Chad knows the answer. Who's the ref?
I don't know.
The ref is Kevin Lawler.
No, you're wrong. The ref is Freddie Gilbert. What's the matter with you? That's Freddie Gilbert,
AKA Kevin Lawler.
How do you know that? You watching too? What show are you on? Have you moved ahead on the TV that you're not telling us?
I was watching this shit. I'm like, holy shit, it's Kevin Lawler. He's out there in a fucking Kevin Lawler.
I'm not even sure that I'm not even sure that's on the VHS on the house show when Gilbert reveals that. It was an angle. Do you guys remember that at all?
I don't.
I mean,
no.
It's right around the whole entire Paulie, like the October, November, December. It's around there where he was revealed that he was Freddie Gilbert, and Eddie brought him in, and Eddie like beat him up and like bladed him, and like it was the whole entire like just thing was ridiculous. And I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get there because I don't know what. I really haven't sat down and watched it like in its completion in its entirety to really know what the fuck was going on. Like we knew it was Freddie Gilbert. We knew it was Kevin Lawler, but he was Freddie Gilbert. Eddie Gilbert calls him out and then beats him up, bloodies him, and it's just a whole mess. I don't know.
I watched it for a minute and I was watching the match. I'm like, that fucking motherfucker looks familiar, and then it just dawned on me. But I was going to ask you, Chad. There was one thing I didn't know. There's this photographer that Paulie keeps fucking with.
That's George Napolitano.
George Napolitano? I didn't recognize who it was.
We kind of struck on this last week when I brought it up about how Paulie was like he did a spot where it wasn't that big of a deal, like. He was trying to get around the photographer. So he kind of like put his arms on George and kind of pushed him out of the way. And I said, oh, is that Joseph Napolitano? Because at the time, nobody was using, Aftermath people or any of them guy. And then when I saw Paulie fucking with him, and I was like, oh, he's roughing up George, dicking him around, and he's probably feeding him what to shoot. Here, sit over here as I'm, messes around with him and shit. Yeah, that's a guy that looks great for your resume if you're trying to build a company and you're getting any sort of exposure. Then you have George Napolitano shooting that ringside for you. Why wouldn't you? Fuck, yeah.
The guy who shot.
I paid Jim Cornette to come and shoot ringside. Like, I don't need you to book. I don't need you to be a manager. Just come and show up.
Just stand there and shoot. Yeah, shoot pictures.
Lend
me your credibility.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Well, Hawk.
Did you see during the? One thing I wrote down there before we go in this bad Jimmy Snuka body slam. Did you notice that if Hawk? Do you think Hawk realized at a young age that he was going to have like male pattern baldness, like the horseshoe pattern thing? So that way he just
pre-shaved it.
That way he didn't have to even bother shaving the top of it because he just grew the sides in. Did he Costanza? Was he smart? Or did it just happen that way? I'm asking you.
I think it might have been a happenstance, but I bet he did have male pattern baldness and it all worked out.
Yeah, and he probably didn't even know it. Like, some girl could have said, hey, grow your hair out. And he tried to, and she goes, oh.
Never mind.
Like,
yeah. What a rush.
Stick with the double hawk. That'll work.
Yeah, Snuka did a fucking stupid a body slam on Hawk, and it was bad. Like Hawk, he was dumped. It was a lazy Snuka body slam, and then I wrote just shit finish, and then I literally wrote ridiculous. Like the whole entire. what that was to me, let me know how you feel about it. It was the main event of any independent show you see on a Friday night or Saturday night at a VFW or American Legion Hall, where they didn't do anything for
Yeah, they didn't do anything for 7 or 8 minutes, like, and then
Snuka snammered around the ring and shit. It was bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know whose fault it was. It was probably more of a circumstance than it was anything else, as far as anybody being lazy or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't have any idea what the fuck they were doing. Like, what they want us to do?
We're supposed to be telling a story.
Yeah, they both just did a line and went out there and saw what would happen.
For some reason, Jimmy Snuka forgot to put his boots on, or he thought he was leaving.
Thought we were done.
He said, "No, you got one more minute."
I was gonna go take care of business, brother.
Yeah, because Jay Sully said, "Look at Jimmy Snuka. The first time in weeks he hasn't been wearing his boots." And I'm just thinking, like, well, he didn't go anywhere. We moved from the Cabrini College.
First time in hours he hasn't worn his boots.
Yeah. I don't know, but somewhere in the ECW arena is Jimmy Snuka's boots.
They're still there somewhere. Morocco, the Dark Patriot, come out, interfere, blase. Hawk no-sells a pile driver and then gets a fireball to the face.
Oh, yeah. Hawk's no-sold a lot of shit more than a pile driver. He no-sold a lot of shit.
Yeah, that was a very, very bad, I don't even know what the word is. I guess maybe execution. That was a poor decision on somebody's fault right there.
Definitely a poor sequence of events, for sure.
Yeah, there is no reason, no way that Hawk should have got the pile driver. He really didn't sell for anything. And then he gets the pile driver, and then he gets up, and then he gets the fireball. And then he sells for that. Well, what the fuck? The guy just dropped. What?
Yeah, they hit him with like 3 pile drivers and a couple DDTs, and like hit him with a chair, and the fireball took him out. It was bad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was way overdone. Why couldn't you keep him down? What you got to do to this guy? And you throw fire at him, and all he does is wince for a second. And I mean, does he come back with any? I guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't think he comes back with any tape on his eye or none of that.
No, that's highly doubtful.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know what you have next on your list, but there's something I have underlined here that I just can't wait to get to.
Well, the next thing I have written down is
it's not the join in progress Super Destroyers against whatever Michael or Candido and Hot Body.
Yeah, that was what I have written down next.
I wrote not good, and I wrote somebody made a comment about somebody buying some eggs.
Mm-hmm. I have Stevie Wonderful talking about people buying eggs. I don't know. I watched the show 6 days ago, so I don't remember exactly.
In the match, Jay Sully says the bigger Super Destroyers in the ring, and Stevie Wonderful's like, oh, the bigger one. They're both big. That's like saying large eggs, extra large eggs, medium eggs. They're all eggs.
What a fucking idiot.
And Jay Sully's like, you're right, Stevie.
Aaron's paying way too much attention. I just heard that somebody buying eggs comment, and my ears were perked up. And I was like, that's funny. When do you hear that in wrestling, that somebody's buying eggs? Aaron knew anything about it. When you go to the grocery.
Sorry, I'm paying attention, guys.
Oh, yes, you were.
No, like I said, I watched the show too early this week, so I have my.
I wanted to throw my beer can at the fucking TV when he started talking about fucking eggs. Like, what the fuck? This is how I look at.
Go ahead.
This is how I look at the fucking Suicide Blondes now. Chris Michaels or Richard Michaels should replace Hot Body. Hot Body should should replace Hunter Q, and Hunter Q should just leave. Like, just let Chris Michaels be the other Hollywood Blonde or Suicide Blonde, and just get fucking rid of Hunter Q and let fucking Johnny Hotbody be their manager. That would have been perfect.
Well, I think it's going to be like a big monsoon of the taking out of the trash, so to speak, and really soon. Because I think Candido is going to be. I didn't really thought about this because Candido wasn't really kind of like fired, like not fired because Paul didn't fire anybody. You can still always show up, every single week, just not get used. Eventually, you'll get it.
And this might be it. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this might be like a weird thought, but like watching this, you're seeing Candido not only develop as a wrestler, but develop his look. Like there were a couple episodes where he didn't have like knee pads or anything like that, but like in this episode, he's got different tights. He's got knee pads. Like Candido's somewhat coming into his own as these shows are progressing.
Well, I've been saying it since he's been on this show, since we started doing this thing, that you can tell when Candido's calling the match. You can tell when he's the ring general. You know how he booked the match. Yeah. And he's probably the guy, because the way things worked out, and, it sucks. Hot Body, I don't know, Christopher Michaels, I don't know that guy at all. But any of them guys like that, and they all went away. The one guy that didn't go away in the same fashion was Chris Candido, which could be because Paul could have said, "Hey, Chris, I can't do anything for you. Go see what you can find elsewhere, because maybe we're not ready, maybe you're not ready.
Exactly.
Who knows? It could be anything. Like go work for Cornette."
Yeah, but he is most definitely a diamond in the rough on these shows for sure.
And then in this match, Sir Richard Michaels runs in, and Jay Sully says, "Who is that? We've never seen him before."
Drove me insane.
He was on last week.
He was on last week. Yes, it drove me insane. I was like, "What?"
And they explained it.
It's not recorded it's not played out of recorded sequence either, because what they did last week was to set up this match. So it's not even like it was recorded or it was played out of sequence of when it was recorded.
That's like there's a lot of things that I remember. You know what? Who's good at that kind of editing stuff was Axel. I used to sit in the studio and watch Axel do TVs, and how he would notice that, hey, you can't have the manager at ringside and you can't have the manager doing commentary at the same time.
Little things like that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't really mean a whole lot, but it means a lot. And the grand, especially if you have a finish that involves the guy or whatever, and the guy's running out there and he's doing commentary. That's that kind of stuff where they do all that kind of crap is and little things.
And Sal Lepeto, he was out there with cake. Did you notice that? He had a plate of cake.
He had cake.
And Sal Lepeto was out there with cake, and Richard Michaels pushed Sal Bellomo on his ass, and when Sal fell, the cake just exploded. And I really think that Sal Peto was out there to try to push the cake into Hunter Q's face. But when Dick Michaels pushed him on his ass, it exploded the cake, so the fucking spot was blown. And that's why they were all just standing in the ring like a bunch of dildos.
I wrote here the commentators have no idea what's going on, and neither do I.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anytime, honestly, guys, anytime you see cake in wrestling, it's going in somebody's face, right?
It's supposed to.
Sure.
But fucking Rick Michaels pushed the shit out of Sal, and he dropped the cake, and then it was like, well, it's fucked now.
Me and Jess, purposely, when we met about our cake for our wedding, we got one that was a breakthrough cake. Like it wasn't gonna be too tall that she couldn't 3D me through it.
Yeah.
It might be, it wasn't gonna be that tall. So we got one perfect for that. So yeah, even at my wedding, I know I'm going to the table. I'm going to the cake. Right?
But I think
even if it's got to be a drop toe hold spot where I come we're dancing together. I just run and she drops toe holds me. I go bam right into the cake.
Yeah.
I
think
the crowd goes banana.
I think they intended Cake to go in the face of Hunter Q. Robinson, but fucking Richard Michaels pushed the fuck out of Sal, and he just fucked the Cake spot up, and that's why they're all just in the ring like whatever.
Yeah. And they all became part of the mass firing.
And then Todd Gordon comes out and goes through puberty on the microphone in this segment.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd Gordon. I don't know what the fuck you had going on there.
Did you guys see that mic? That microphone they had?
I guess I wasn't looking that closely.
Oh
Aaron's
man,
the
I guess
captain
I
of
was
details
watching
on
this
this
show too much.
Yeah, you're the
fucking
captain of details for this one.
That microphone was huge. It looked like a shake weight. It looked like a shake weight with an orange on top of it. The fucking mic was huge.
I've always heard baby's arm with an apple.
No, it was like a shake
with an
weight
orange.
with an orange on top of it. That goddamn microphone was huge.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, at some point, wasn't there a chain match, or can we get back to violence?
Well, yeah, that's coming up. But let's talk about this goddamn mic. Details, brother.
You do your own podcast about that mic. We've already talked about it,
The microphone at the 2300 pod.
It was a hell of a mic.
It was huge.
Well, I mean, you might like that kind of stuff.
I'll rewatch it and send a picture of it to you guys. It's fucking massive.
No. I'm well aware of the size of the mic.
So Gordon, with his teen voice or his puberty voice, shut up. His puberty voice adds Hunter Q. Robbins to this already thrilling match that's going to be coming up at the Super Steak Sizzler Tour.
And when Hunter Q is in the match, it's going to be breathtaking.
Say the least. Yes, indeed.
So what a build for this 7-man tag team match coming up at the big show.
They're going to try to insert their dominance.
No. I mean, literally, from the way that Jay Sully's talking about it, only 96 hours, the clock is just tick-tacking away. Good God.
All right.
That was fun.
So much to, as we discussed last week, about
somebody throw me a lifesaver.
Could they make these Philly promos look a little more urban? Now we've got Eddie Gilbert, who says he's down in the woods in Philadelphia, cutting a promo outside, getting cheap baseball heat.
Haven't we already discussed where the woods are?
Yeah, they're just out the back door, right?
Yeah, because the studio was in the basement of the studio. I mean, of the building, like an industrial park.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And you walk out there, and that was the parking lot, and there was the woods. And there were some impressive woods. I mean, I'm glad Eddie made it to the front of the woods, where there wasn't any more woods.
He's just, like, I don't know, fucking. There's no way you can't tell me that he couldn't have just like went and cut that in front of like a railroad track or something. That would have made it look a lot cooler.
That wouldn't. No, because Eddie probably didn't give a shit enough to do it, and they probably didn't know where a railroad track was, and they think they were all stupid and don't have an idea where they're filming this shit at. I mean, that's the reality of it. But yeah, I agree with you. Why couldn't you just spend the 5 minutes and drive down the road and find somewhere to do it at?
Yeah.
Or if not do it, don't even do it at all. But did it really do anything?
No, it was a meaningless promo. Really.
Pretty much.
And then they I think this later on that they replayed the same Terry Funk promo that they played last week, but that's later on.
He was all confused about what the fuck what was going on about Texas. I don't know. And we used to have
something about something we used to do in Texas. I'm going to do it to Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah. He never said Texas chain match. It's going to be a Texas chain match. It was the same promo. Yeah, you know how. I mean, what can you say? It wasn't terrible. They just replayed the same thing. Mm-hmm. But now, are we getting to my favorite part of the show?
Eddie Gilbert and Mr. Is it Renesto? Hervé Renesto.
Hervé Renesto.
I always pronounce the name wrong. I don't know why the hell it happens, but it comes out of my face wrong.
Your lifesaver.
This is the match, dude. This is the match that made the show. And I mean, I can't. I got to be honest. Most of the show I wasn't paying attention because I was looking for myself in the crowd. Because I wasn't too sure what side we were sitting on. But my buddy said we were sitting on the hard side until after October.
Okay.
And I was like, look for myself. And then when I saw Hervé Renesto, I loved the match because I looked at it and I said, man, I was only a couple of months away from being there. Mm-hmm. And if I could have been there and Eddie would have picked me to do that match, not only because Eddie's my hero and all, mentor and all that shit, but I would have loved to have been the job guy in that chain match.
Yeah. Well, and I actually was going to ask you about this, Chad. I have it written down because I wrote down that this was my favorite part of the show and I wanted to see if you would disagree with me or not, because this is the first time that they have gotten real legit heat on this match since they started hyping this match that they've shown us. They talked about they talked about the match at the beginning of the feud that we never actually got to see the end of, and et cetera, et cetera. But this seemed like the first time watching this show for almost 3 months now that they've been talking about this match, that they really put heat on the match and what the match involves and what we all know what a chain match is, but shouldn't you explain it to me anyway?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. I just love, even if Terry Funk didn't know what it was, and then Gilbert's like, I'm gonna explain it, and he couldn't have explained it any more easier than by doing it.
Doing it, exactly, yeah.
He demonstrated it. Look, Hervé Renesto, Terry Funk, is laying in the middle of the ring, and I'm just gonna walk around. I'm gonna just tap all the four corners, and that's the way you do it. And I'm like, that's so great. I just really wish that I could have been that guy instead of Hervé Renesto. Mm-hmm. I could really imagine myself. I've done a little bit of acting. You look up my Jerry Springer resume; it's impeccable. 2007's most hated guest of the year. You look at my resume, yeah. But I would have loved to have been working that match with Eddie. To have been dude, I know what you're doing. You're getting over the chain match, Mm-hmm. And Hervé didn't have a clue. Hervé, let's be honest, as much as I love Renesto, Hervé, whatever, he didn't have a clue what he was doing,
Ineffecto, Buffecto, or whatever the fuck his name was before.
Yeah. I think Wonderful calls him Buttafuoco on this show, by the way.
This guy, this Hervé, whatever, he's like the Aldo Montoya of ECW.
He is?
Yeah, he's working with all these big talents, but he never wins. He just puts them over. He's Aldo Montoya.
I guess you're right. When Lawler was trying to put over the Kiss My Foot match, Aldo Montoya is the one that got to swallow his toe on national television.
Yeah, he's the Aldo Montoya of ECW.
Jesus. All right, well. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait till we start seeing Hack Myers.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought this was the most effective part of the show. And I mean, any other thoughts, gents? I think I've said all I wanted to say about, or all I had to say about it. All my notes said.
See, I mean, another thing that I think that would have been better, like again, I'm only saying it from my point of view nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what would have been back in '93 if I would have been the guy in Hervey's spot. But I'm looking at it from nowadays, like, dude, you could have just put the chain on the turnbuckle and ran my head into it, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have taken a bump, and you could have walked around for as long as you had, you know.
Yeah,
like all that stupid shit. Tie me up in it, you know, around the neck, and then you can
put some,
you know,
hit me again, Ike, and this time put some stank on it. Yeah,
and show me everything that you can do with it with the chain. You know, This is the Texas chain match. Show me all the stuff you could do with the chain, and he kind of did because he rubbed his hand around it a couple times, but it was Hervey Ernesto. It wasn't like he was putting the atom there, and you know, Jesus, he beat Hervey. And then it was the funk promo again, right?
Yeah, this is where they played. Yeah, this is where they replayed the funk promo from last week, and now we get a recap of that the thrilling feud we've been going through between the Sandman and Aaron's homie, the Rockin' Rebel.
Fucking A.
The big surfboard spot, all of that. Like Morocco said, it's all going down, brother.
Yeah.
Why did they just stopped? I mean, did you guys watch it on the same platform that I did, the network?
Yeah.
Why did it just come in out of nowhere? Where they just showed, like, I mean, was that me? Like, they came in just like out of nowhere. Rebel and Sandman brawling at ringside, and it says, "Let's go back," and like whoever was doing the commentary was like a minute behind of what was going on. He's like, "Let's go back and see." Like, we were already watching it. Like, oh yeah, and you know what was that all about? Was that a mistake or?
I don't know. I don't think it would have been a network audio mistake. It was probably, I assume, an editing mistake on their part back in the day. I don't know. To be honest, I guess I wasn't paying that much attention because I picked up immediately that it was a recap. So it was just kind of playing there, you know, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to it.
Did you guys ever watch Scrubs? The TV show Scrubs?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You never watched Scrubs? I was gonna say, I love Terrible Tiger on Scrubs. He was great.
Well, I don't like Terrible Tiger on ECW.
She's terrible. She's just terrible.
Yeah. Wasn't there a promo somewhere there with Sandman and Rebel and?
Well, yeah. First, we shoot to a Paul Lee interviewing Rebel and Tigra. That's riveting, and then Sully gets to interview Sandman and Peaches. I don't have anything of note from these promos. I put Paulie interviews Rebel and Tigra, Sully interviews Sandman and Peaches. There really isn't anything that I wrote
my
down.
My note is it's time for Sandman to ditch his onesie and get into like pajama pants. You got to do it, buddy. Just get rid of it.
I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly the time frame. It's coming. And when I say it's coming, it's when Paul's going to be around Sandman.
I don't want to jump ahead. Like, I know we try not to jump ahead, but doesn't Sandman's look change come when he does the angle with Tommy Cairo? Doesn't he do an angle at some point with Tommy Cairo, and that's where his look changes? Or am I wrong?
Okay. No, Tommy Cairo. I don't think we're that far off, because I think once we get into like August, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the guys fade away, like a lot of the guys that we're used to seeing on their fade away. And why not a guy like Hack, Sandman, you know, use Tommy Cairo as a great springboard to another, you know, singles run.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be perfect.
Now we have Paulie cutting a promo with the Dark Patriot Dark Patriot doing oogie boogie boogie things with his cape.
And that's the thing that bugs me about Dark Patriot. It's like GWF Dark Patriot makes sense because there's Del Welt's Patriot, but ECW Dark Patriot doesn't make sense. Like, why wasn't he just Doug Gilbert?
Other than if you're smart and you know it's Doug Gilbert under the hood, because before the Eddie Gilbert match, if you remember, they did the little thing with him saying, "Can I trust the Dark Patriot?" And
probably
reassuring him, and it was, I think it's supposed to be tongue in cheek, unless I'm totally off base. But
I don't think so at all, because I remember I knew it was Doug Gilbert, and I wasn't even in the locker room then. And my buddies that I went with, we knew it was Doug Gilbert. And we not necessarily thought the same thing you guys said about it doesn't make any sense with the Patriot thing. To us, it made sense because it wasn't Eddie Gilbert being the booker, bringing in his brother, then bringing in Freddie Gilbert. And, all that nonsense. Because Paul Lee was enough. Paul Lee was a snake bite enough to fuck the whole entire Eddie Gilbert game plan up. But yeah, that's what I think. I think Dark Patriot, which is another character. What if Doug couldn't make it? Throw fucking Sandman under that stupid thing. Oh,
that Dark Patriot.
I'm the drunk Patriot.
Yeah, there you go.
Drunk Patriot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
So now we are moving on. It is time for the main event of this show. Probably not the main event of the taping, but the main event of this. Actually, Chad, I know you said that you were at these shows. Do you remember how many they excuse me, do you remember how many they filmed in a taping? How many episodes they filmed in a taping?
No, nothing made any sense. Okay. And again, I remember how I said at Cabrini, how I thought that they staggered the tapings, where it could have been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
right,
or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like it could have been the same thing, like here. Because I can always ask my friend that we always talk wrestling about, and he can say, "Yeah, but is it because you watched it on TV or you remember being there?"
Right?
Because because sometimes we were there. We would go there on Saturday and stay Saturday and Sunday, and then leave. Or they could have had a Friday. Sometimes they had a Friday taping. So yeah, and there's a lot of things. They used to shove so much down our throats down there. Like match-wise, you never knew what was going to air in any sort of sequence whatsoever.
That's one thing as a fan that I never, and I probably never will now, just because of the way television. Well, actually, you don't even go to television tapings in the age of COVID. But that's one thing as a fan I regret that I've been to pay-per-views, I've been to Raws, I've been to TV or to house shows, probably starting when I was, I don't know, 13, no, not even 13, older than that. Maybe the first one was in like 95. Anyway, that would have been a house show. Anyway, long story short, I'm taking a long time to get to a point. That's one thing that I regret never having been at in my wrestling fandom. I know it sounds silly, but I never got to go to one of those long, boring TV tapings, like where they taped multiple episodes of a show, Never, and it'll never happen again, because that's not how wrestling's filmed anymore, and et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, the closest I ever got was to, you got to see Heat before Raw, but never got to go to any like the really long Raw tapings or Superstars tapings or anything like that. So anyway, totally off base.
I went to a couple of them.
Did you?
I was involved in a couple of them in VCW, and I was in a bunch of them in WCW, and they really didn't. I mean, to me, they really didn't seem that long at all.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, because you always kind of found somebody you could gravitate to. and they just kill time. You know?
That's what I always thought too. You know, they always say that those tapings, those WWF tapings, were so long, and the crowd would get bored. And I've always thought, well, I don't think I would have, being the kind of fan I am. I'm sure Dad taking his son to see the matches.
Oh yeah,
got bored.
Oh, them 4.5 hour tapings, where you would see the same match back to back because they fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they send it back out there again. Oh yeah, that would definitely kill the business. Yeah. Don't send it back out there for that.
Dad's like, kid, we're not coming back next time.
No.
I took us totally off base there, guys. Sorry.
All right.
Back to Mr. Terry Funk and the Dark Patriot in our main event. Nothing offensive, but nothing great. I don't know. It's just, am I wrong here?
Yeah, the match was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I that's about when I stopped taking notes. I wrote main event, and then I wrote something about the censors because they tried to make it sound like it was too violent. But yeah, Terry Funk just did Terry Funk. He fell through the ropes. He bumped into shit. You know, he hit his head on stuff. You know, and obviously you knew that he had worked with Doug Gilbert before. You know,
yeah, you
could just see it. Because Terry Funk is not going to leave his head out there, or just leave it out there for, you know. And then he's throwing chairs at him and shit. Like, yeah, clearly he's not going to do all that shit. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't write anything bad about it at all, because there's nothing you can say bad about it.
See, I was going to ask, what's your opinion on Doug, Chad?
Doug? Is Doug listening?
I doubt he is.
Depends on which Doug.
Doug. I never had a problem with Doug, man. Like, yeah, Doug was, yeah, he's known in Memphis. I'll tell you that. Yeah, Doug was always great. And as far as a worker, you know, he came from University of Tennessee, man. You know, he wasn't going to be a worker. Eddie just fucking John Gillen him. Hey, I'm bringing you to TV. You're going to be on TV. Really? Yeah, you're going to do this. What? That's pretty much how Doug got into business. I'm sure it was a little more colorful than what I just described, but
yeah,
that's pretty much about it.
All right. Well, Aaron, you and Chad had sounded at the beginning of the show like you had differing opinions on this program. Aaron said he enjoyed the show.
I enjoyed the show. I thought it flowed good, and the promos were good, and I just thought the show was better off than what it was before. Like, I liked the promo breaks they did, and they did more to sell the Super Summer Sizzler more than anything else has.
Spectacular? That come with egg and cheese?
On a bagel, no less. I felt like
do you get what I'm saying, though? Like, I just thought they did a really good job with.
I felt like I said earlier, I wrote down that I thought that the Eddie Gilbert segment was with the chain was the most effective of the show. I felt like the rest of the show, it's like, I'm going to use a really, really stupid analogy here, and you guys can shit on it if you want. But it's like when Bambi's first trying to learn how to walk. Everything feels like it's on these wobbly legs right now. They're trying to feel for something. They're trying to get some ground going, but there's still a lot of slipping as the show goes on. I know.
Right, this
terrible analogy, I know, but
fuck. Am I on the right show?
Microphones and Bambi, baby. That's this week's show.
So, I mean, basically what you're saying is they have the right talent. The talent just hasn't really developed himself yet.
Well, and it also feels like they're as time goes on, whether it's Paul or Eddie or whoever, they're working with what they have, but I think working toward, like you're saying, Chad, working toward an exile of people to bring in other talent to really get something going. I think somebody around here knows they've got something. Probably they can feel it in this crowd, or they can feel it in the, just the general anything. They know they got something. They just have not figured out what they want to do with it yet. So that's what we're watching, is their growing pains, I guess,
Yeah,
their pains.
Like my thing was like they've done this fucking chainsaw or chain whatever Texas chain match massacre for like 3 months.
Right.
Okay, they've done it for 3 months.
I thought Monopoly was thrown in there somewhere too.
And finally, for this week and last week, they've had Eddie cut promos, they've had Terry cut promos, and that's what they should have been doing 3 months ago. And like with the fucking Sandman Rock and Rebel feud, like they're finally showing you some shit. It's like now you should be able to see some shit that fucking Eddie and Terry had done, some violent shit, but it didn't happen. So it's like, does that make sense? Like Eddie and Terry have nothing to show us of what they've done except run a fucking mannequin over with a tractor.
What else do you need? Come on. What were they doing on WWE? A wrestling dentist? A plumber? I mean, come on. It was obviously, he ran over Eddie Gilbert's brother. When's the last time you heard from Eddie Gilbert's brother?
Well, he refereed the last match.
Well, that was a different brother. Yeah, I agree in a sense. Yeah, it's baby steps, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of baby steps.
So on our next show, we are going to.
I'm just really hoping Joey shows up soon.
Joey Styles?
Yeah, I hope Joey shows up soon.
I know he'll be in by September, I think. I don't know if I can't remember when he first comes in. I know him and Sully are around at the same time for a while, not commentating together, but they're both there. Coming up on the next show, we're going to be reviewing this Super Sizzler bacon, egg, and cheese bagel we got going here for the for the big show. And just to run down the lineup that the WWE Network has, we've been building to this show the whole first few months we've been doing this podcast. It looks like Hawk's. I don't think Hawk's going to be showing up for this show because I believe he was. Well, because it looks like I don't think Morocco shows up either because they got Snuka wrestling 2 matches. Snuka's wrestling JT Smith and he's wrestling Tommy Cairo. Larry Winters versus Tony Stetson. Of course, can't wait for Peaches versus Tigra. Sandman and Johnny Hotbody. And Aaron, you'll be happy to know, apparently Dick Murdoch did show up because he's wrestling Patriot. The Dark Patriot.
Dark Patriot. Patriot is different than Dark Patriot.
And then, of
Black
course,
Patriot.
The Black Patriot.
Black Patriot Ali.
The 6-man tag match, of course, and the Funk and Gilbert, Texas Chainsaw Massacre match. So that's what we got coming up for the Super Summer Sizzler 1993. And yeah, I did the name serious that last time.
What's that runtime on that? What's that, 2 hours?
It's hour 25.
Okay. All right. You got it.
And that's on the network, so I don't know if it's cut up or anything, but I haven't actually watched it yet. But that will be our next show. Guys, do you have any other parting words on this show or not predictions? The thing already happened. Or
what happened 25 years ago.
Yeah, anything you're looking forward to watching on this upcoming Super Summer Sizzler show?
I think that when this is when my buddy said that we came to all these shows, all these tapings. Mm-hmm. But I think this is what made me remember, like the one that was like, holy shit. You know,
I think you're
my holy shit show.
I think you're right, and the reason I say that, and I don't know why, but I'm almost positive. I'd have to go back and listen to it. But the first time you were on the We Can't Wrestle podcast, I think you talked about this show coming up on that show. I'd have to go back and listen to be sure, but I'm almost positive that you brought this show up in our first interview with you. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So
it was one of them deals where it was just like, wow, how the fuck you pull all this off? I mean, clearly, Paulie's got something that,
mm-hmm.
whatever, but how'd you pull all this off? That's a lot of big names you guys, you got here and all that. Yeah, so Dick Murdoch. That right there speaks more than anything else. Because anybody else that showed up probably called ahead and said, did Murdoch show up?
Right. Well, and not to mention,
said, Murdoch showed up. They go, oh well, fuck.
That's what I thought was crazy about this when I looked at it. Is I'm looking at this, and we're at this point, and at this point, Morocco has their belt, and he's not even on this show. And Snuka wrestles twice, so I'm wondering if Snuka's wrestling his match and Morocco's match or something. I don't know.
TCB, brother. He's taking care of Morocco's business. That's what I brought up. Don't lie about it. But other than that, I have nothing
brother. TMCB.
I got nothing to promote. Just follow me on all the social media platforms. I'm Chad Austin Demira.
Some cool spindles I saw in Chad's video vault this week too.
Yeah, it's a private group. Go ahead and request a thing, and I'll personally add you to it. It's only $2 a DVD, and it's for educational and whatever else I wrote down on that thing for legal purposes. So yeah, it's non-profit kind of thing.
Aaron?
My dogs are being assholes. Sorry, the dogs
are being. I can't hear them. It's all right.
Okay, that's cool. Join the We Can't Wrestle podcast, and I got another tournament going. It's a United States champion tournament. There's 17, I think, spots left. If people want to join that, it's going to be a fun time.
And like lots of the things we do in the We Can't Wrestle podcast group, you can win free shit. That's the most important.
Oh, yeah.
Love free shit, baby. Yeah. Well, that being said, please do, if you're listening to the show and you're not a member of the 2300 Pod Facebook group, please do join that. Of course, join us on the We Can't Wrestle podcast, which will be launching this weekend as well, at the same weekend as this one, where Aaron and I are going to be discussing AWA Super Clash 3. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
Chad felt like he had a comment on that.
Carrie pops a gusher. Super Clash 3.
I can't believe that my management team says I'm not available for that show. Wow. I mean, that's one of the ones I swear I wrote down that if you guys ever wanted me to do a show, it would be Super Clash 4. I can't believe you guys are going to do it without me.
We're gonna record Super Clash 3 at like 11. So power watch that. Join along, buddy.
Somehow I don't believe Chad's enthusiasm about wanting to join us in reviewing this show. But guys, as always, both of you, it's a pleasure to do this show with you, and it's been another great week. And ladies and gentlemen, Mark for edit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the 2300 pod, and we'll see you next time around for Super Summer Sizzler Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Bagel Bash.